Hi guys, welcome to the secret level. Today I want to show you the dark. With this base, you'll build some OP turret spots, some tight wall gaps, and a cozy and secure interior. I will also show you how to build some hidden bunkers, some unique bedroom designs, and all in all, a very defendable base. All of this for under 15k metal a day. Last but not least, I will have a neat little surprise at the end for you, so let's take the tour. We start off the tour from the external TCs. We have 3 of them, each with a very low upkeep. This will be especially important if later on you want to move your TC to the 3rd floor. We enter the base through one of the 3 simple gatehouses. We step inside to a pretty standard compound with 3 gatehouses and 3 standard bedrooms. However, I will also show you this bedroom variation to give yourself a better fighting position and section off the compound. The bedroom itself is pretty common, but it does offer some interesting peaks to your compound. Before we move on to the base, let me also show you these fantastic hidden bunkers. You can fit so much loot in here, but my advice is to split your loot as evenly as possible. Now we enter the base through one of the 6 doors. We actually see that it is inaccessible from the outside, so there's a 50% chance a door raid will start on the wrong foot. We get inside through the other door, through what can be a furnace jump up, a ladder hatch, or whatever suits your playstyle. I want to highlight this bedroom here. It makes it so you can quickly rekit and jump back into action. You can also safely open the door and jump scare any unsuspecting guest. In this area, I want to show you some of the simple but effective peeks. They will allow you to take a step back and get the perfect angle into your compound. And finally, these are the promised crazy turret spots that I was clickbaiting in the thumbnail. I actually think they're pretty cool. They cover all of the 4th floor and the doors to the loot room in the 3rd floor. Okay, and now we are looking at the 2nd floor. You'll have some window spots here, where you can put some lockers, some batteries, or whatever you want. Here we have the big loot room, where I show you a tight box setup, but as you know, the barrel DLC is OP, so a bite, I guess. And finally, on the 1st floor, we have a pretty cozy space with a square loot room and a TC room. I guess TC isn't here, so let's find it together. And you've guessed it, it's hidden behind one of the 3rd floor loot rooms. I think this is pretty awesome. There's a high chance raiders will waste a lot of rockets trying to find the TC in this base. Obviously, I will show you how to do it, but you don't have to, you can just as well keep it in the original spot. And the 4th floor, the final one, I didn't organize much here, I will leave it up to you. Finally, let's move on to the roof, which I think is my favorite part of the whole base. As you can see, I took the request from the last video to heart and made the roof very hard to raid. We have 3 turret spots here and 3 more up there. All 6 of them should be very difficult to destroy and easily cover the whole roof. Let's look at some peaks. We have a tight wall gap here looking straight down. And also these windows with the suspended ramp. All in all, giving you a good fighting chance defending your base from the roof. Here I'll show you one of my favorite bedrooms. You have a bed, a locker, plenty of good angles, and a little surprise on top. I like to add the SEM sites here in the middle, as they are a lot harder to grief, and you can put up to 6 windmills on the sides. And with this we end the tour. We can safely say we are no longer afraid of the dark. So let's build it. I want to take a second here to thank any possible subscribers coming back to watch my 2nd video. I really tried to take in all the feedback and make a base that better fits your needs. Now let's get on to the build. We start with this very simple 1x1. If you decide to skip the TC move, you can add this triangle here for extra box space. If not, Then leave it like this so we can turn this into a full loot room. We quickly expand to the left and the right here before putting down the deployables. This is gonna be the jump up to the second floor, but for now we will leave it blocked by this door. We'll save this triangle here for a battery, but for the moment you can use it for furnace space or whatever you want. I will show you one way to set up all the deployables. Obviously feel free to get creative and do them however you want. We finish the starter with this honeycomb, ending up with this sort of diamond shape. We continue to honeycomb the base as for the moment the TC is kinda exposed. These rooms here will end up being the bedrooms once we complete the entrances and the chutes. I know these look a bit complicated, but we'll do it together 2 more times, so we should be fine. But basically it's one wall, one window and one door. This is how it should look in the end, once you complete all 3 of them. And with that, we move on to the second floor. First we'll do a simple wall around the same diamond footprint. One wall here between the triangles, and on this side we do the jump up to the 3rd floor. On the other triangles we build 2 windowed rooms for a battery or a locker. I will show you how to place both, even you have already placed the window wall. For the locker, I think the only way is to jump inside, place the locker like this, and then F1 kill. Now we put a roof on everything, and we also build the loot room. You can see on the bottom we have regular boxes, while on the top we have the pay to win setup. You can add this shotgun trap here, because for the moment it's your only line of defense against people going deep. We will quickly add more honeycomb until the base looks like this. Now, on all 3 sides we will complete the bedrooms, the chutes and the peaks. As you can read on top, from now on I will mostly use 3-way symmetry. Now, on the left of the window we will have the real entrance. You can do a single door to match the one on the right, but eventually you would like to get a garage door in. We will place a furnace for a jump up, but if you want to be fancy you can also do a triangle hatch. On the right side we do a half floor and a single door. This entrance is blocked and you can only use it as a peak. These up here will be peaks. We cover it up and we're pretty much done on all three sides. The next stage is building the external TCs. We'll do this build out here, starting with 2 triangles, then 1 square and 1 more triangle. You can tell it's right when the final triangle is pointing right between the 2 walls, if that makes sense. Afterwards, we'll go out with 8 squares and finish with 1 triangle. Then get back with 4 half moons. 1 more triangle, 1 more square, and 3 more triangles. We only keep these last 4 triangles here that are almost touching the base. These will be the foundations for the new bunkers. Now we add these floors here and cover with metal walls. We'll also cover the top with roofs, but doing it now might mess up the build later. And this is how it should all look so far. And also this is how we open the bunker. The jump up is not very comfortable, but you get up there any way you want. We continue with 1 more square, 1 triangle and another square, which will be the foundation to the bedroom. We move on to the TC with a pretty basic 4 square layout, which you can just follow along. If instead you want to do a bunkered TC, just let me know in the comments and I will show you how to do it. The bedroom itself is pretty simple. It has window peaks looking inside the compound and the turret pod on top. Oh, and one last detail, don't forget to actually connect the bunkers to the bedroom so they are connected to the external TCs. You can do these frames here that we will use anyway later on, and that should be it. In order to continue the build, we first need to build this final honeycomb. You can put down 2 lockers behind these windows now. And above the honeycomb, we want to build this window peak with the triangle roof. To finish the walls, place down this triangle here and delete it afterward. We start the loot rooms with the ramps because they're the single most buggy piece of in the entire game. Anyway, you put them down first so we don't have any troubles and we move on. Now, if you decide to keep the TC downstairs, you can put walls on all 3 sides and be done with it. Otherwise, leave one side empty. For some reason, I decided to place some boxes here right now, but you don't really have to. We finish by putting down this shelf and completing most of the roof. Just make sure you leave these 3 floors uncovered here. Now you can also finally place the roofs here to cover the bunkers. In order to move the TC, we disconnect all 3 external TCs. While it is very unlikely, maybe watch out for your neighbors not coming to grief your base with their own TC. Here, be very careful when you place down the TC to put it as close to the edge as possible, otherwise you will not be able to access it. If however you cannot access it, don't worry, just Molotov it and try again. These boxes here are a little easier to place right now, because the top shelf will be actually blocked later on by the ramp. But don't worry, if you didn't, you can do them as well, just get up on a barrel or something like that. Okay, and now that the more complicated part is pretty much done, let's finish up the base. We do a twig floor here, 2 ramps on top, and then delete the twig floor to create a suspended ramp effect. You can see that the top boxes are not reachable, so if you lock them, raiders will not be able to loot them. If you have it, you can place another turret or a shotgun trap in this space under the jump up, but this is the only time when you can do it. You can now cover everything except the middle triangle, which will be the jump up to the roof. When you place these turrets, again place them as close to the edge as possible so they have the widest angle that they can get. Now we'll do the shooting floor. We start with the roof bedrooms, which will be placed upon this sort of frame scaffolding. Oh, and by the way, how do you feel about the music? Do you prefer the hip hop or should we continue with lo-fi? I build them in this half moon shape so that we can still have good access through the wall gaps. Next, we do this little build out to place the foundation to the gatehouse. Again, it's a very simple gatehouse with a turret pod on top, just don't forget to connect them to the main base. Also, I guess you can do 3 more external TCs here if you want, but I think that's kinda overkill. We do some more frames from the gatehouse in order to build the turret pods and the suspended ramps. Here be careful to place the triangle floors first, as it doesn't work the other way around. If you made it this far, first of all I really appreciate your patience, and secondly please drop a like and a sub. I would really love to reach around 50 subscribers with this video. We'll fill the rest of the sides with simple triangle roofs. Now we add deployables to the bedrooms. As you can see, you get some pretty good fighting angles onto the roof. We also add this little shotgun trap here, which I'm sure raiders will appreciate. Last thing to do on the roof is to build the raised turret pods. I really like how wide an angle is covered on the entire roof. I'm curious, how would you go about raiding this base from the top down? We'll only do 3 windmills, but you have room for 3 more if you want. Some sites on the middle pods for extra protection. And let's finish the build with the compound. If you prioritize the compound, you can rush it as soon as you've built the external TCs. Just place down the gateways as I've shown you and continue with the compound. When you place these barricades, be a little careful to cover the frames, otherwise people can climb over. We'll do 2 walls on each side to fit the furnace. You can also do 1 wall, but it looks a bit scuffed. This next part is totally optional. It adds a little bit of cover for the turrets and very tight picks for you. Also, this is how I organize these bedrooms here, but it's really up to you how you want to do it. This is also completely optional, but I had this idea to section up the compound and make it more cumbersome for raiders. It also protects you better when spawning outside. Does it feel cozier like this, or just bothersome? And that's it, guys. This was the dark. I hope you liked it and I hope you test it out. Comment with any suggestions or join the Discord to discuss it further. Don't forget to sub, and I wish you a fantastic vibe.